And welcome back. Now, we have just finished implementing our reloading mechanic, which basically allows us to show that our character is reloading. So I'll go ahead and fire around and press the R key, and you can see that she reloads. She even replaces the clip, and but there's a problem with this. It's completely silent. As soon as we hit the R key, we'll see that she's reloading, but we can't hear anything. And the audio component to this is a very important one. So in this video, we're going to add sounds to our reloading and to our pickups. So we're going to import some sounds into our project. Now you're going to go to the Druid Mechanics GitHub page, and here it is. It's github.com/druidmech. And in the UE4 CPP Shooter Series folder, you're going to see the assets/sounds folder. And you should have already downloaded ar15_shots.zip. There's also going to be an impacts.zip and a rifle.zip. Go ahead and download both of these. So you're going to click on these and you're going to click on download here. And once you've got it on your machine, you're going to unzip that and stick it in a folder where you would like it to be. So I've got it in my downloads folder. I'm going to right click and I'm going to extract all. And I've got my assets folder here. I'm going to go ahead and extract it into that. And now I'll have my impacts, which has a few impact sounds. I'm going to do the same thing for the rifle.zip. So I'll go ahead and download rifle.zip. And here I have rifle.zip. I'll extract it all. And I'll stick it in my assets folder. And I have rifle.zip. And I have rifle, which has some rifle sounds. So we're going to import these into Unreal Engine. So let's go ahead and do that now. So here in the engine, I got the _game folder. I've also got the assets folder inside that and sounds. Now we've got gunshots. I'm going to right click and create a new folder called rifle. And I'll go ahead and right click and create a new folder called impacts. And we can import those sounds that we just downloaded. So click add/import, and it says import assets, select that. Find the folder where you put those, and since I'm in the rifle folder, I'll take all these assets in rifle, click open, and now they're imported. Now we can right click with all of them selected here and click create queue. And now they all have sound cues. So that's a nice shortcut. Now let's go into the impacts folder and do the same thing. Click add import, import asset, and in our assets folder, or wherever you put yours when you downloaded it, I have the impacts. I'm going to highlight those, click open, and then with all of them selected, right click and create queue, and now I have sound cues for all of these. So once you have sound cues for all these, go ahead, click Save All, Save Selected, and now you have a whole bunch of sound assets that we're going to use while we're developing this game. So let's take a look at our reload animation montage since we want to add some sounds to the reload animation. So in _game character animations, let's take a look at reload montage here. Now I'm going to zoom in on the character and I'll scrub through to the point where she's grabbing the clip. Now, as soon as we grab the clip, it'd be nice to play a sound here to make it sound like she's actually pulling something out of the weapon. So we can use like a little clicking sound here, something like that. So we have two bars here in the notify section. So we can right click just above the grab clip and we can add a notify. And in this case, we're going to add a play sound notify. So if we click on that, now if we click on the play sound notify, notice it's first of all a different color. It's a different kind of notify. It's set up automatically to play a sound, and all we need to do is select the sound asset here. Now, if we go up to the sound property here and click the drop down, we have all of those sound cues and sound waves. We're going to want to use the sound cues. Now, if we go back into our sounds folder in assets, sounds, and rifle, these three here, the magazine sound 3, 4, and 5, are pretty good sounds to use for this. So play the magazine sound 3Q. It's got this little bit of a clicking sound. It kind of sounds like a magazine's being pulled out of a gun. We're going to use that. So in the reload montage for our first play sound cue, let's use that magazine 3 sound cue. So I'm going to type magazine sound 3Q. We're going to select that. And now if we go to the beginning and press play, you can hear that sound as we hit that part in the animation. In fact, we can scrub through and you can hear the sound. Okay, so that's going to take care of taking the clip out. Now, when she reaches back here, I'd like to play a sound as well. Let me rotate around her. So it's like she's grabbing a clip from her belt back here. And I'd like to play a sound that makes it sound like she's grabbing something out here. So let's add another play sound cue right about right here where she reaches back here. So right click, add notify, and choose play sound. And here we can choose another sound. So let's take a look at magazine sound 5Q. That kind of sounds like she's pulling something out of her belt. So we're going to use that one. So for our second play sound, let's search for magazine, and we'll use magazine sound 5Q. So now, if we go ahead and hit play from the beginning, then you can hear that she's got this sort of sound that sounds like she's pulling something out of her belt. Now finally, when she inserts the clip back in, I'd like to play one more sound. And we're already getting crowded here with our notifies towards the end of the animation, so I can go to the notifies, click the drop down for track, and add notify track, and now we'll have a third track here, a third bar. This gives us more room. So when she inserts the clip back in, I can go ahead and right click, add notify, and play sound, and we have a third play sound cue. And if we go back to our rifle sounds, take a look at magazine sound 4Q. That sounds like she's putting a clip back into the gun. So let's go ahead and use that for our third cue. So I'll search for magazine and use magazine sound 4Q. And now when she hits this part, it sounds like she's putting a clip back in the gun. So let's play the whole thing. And that sounds great. I'm going to move this third cue a little bit earlier in the animation. So that way it sounds about right. And you're going to tweak these as you see fit. In fact, I can move this second one forward a bit. And, tweak these until you get it just right. And then you can take a look in the game, and as you reload, first I'll fire around. And then when I reload, I'll pay attention to what it looks like in conjunction with what it sounds like. So that looks pretty good. And I might actually move this first one forward a bit, so that way it sounds a little bit more in line with the animation. In fact, I might have been wanting to move it backward a little bit. Let's see how it looks now. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So you're gonna be adjusting the points in time when these sounds get played. So you're gonna go ahead and tweak those until it looks good. But now we actually have sound playing with our reload. So that is actually adding a lot more dimensionality to our game. So that's going to look great. So that's going to conclude this video. In the next video, we're going to add more sounds. For example, we're going to want to add a sound when we pick up an item, and then we're going to work on making some other items like ammo pickups and things like that. So stay tuned. We'll see you in the next video.